Hey, thanks for tuning in to Rhino's Resto Mod. So if you're new here, you can go back and watch some other videos and stuff. But getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. So anybody thinking about subscribing, if you could, give a subscribe, that would be great. I think I'm at like 960 something, 964 or something like that. So I do appreciate everybody that subscribed. I know I'm a little late getting stuff out, but I could make all the excuses in the world. I mean, I can just tell you that, we were getting ready to leave. Like everybody else has problems, right? We were getting ready to leave one day to drive down to Tennessee, and I live in Ohio. The last, 2 foot that the garage door is going down, the spring breaks and it falls. So I was like, we're going anyways, and I'll fix it when I get back. Like I said, we got a lot of things going on, but it's just life, just like everybody else happens. But in the meantime, I was able to, when we went to Tennessee to our home that we have down there, our house that we have down there, a little place. That's what I had a hydraulic unit go out on the boat trim, so we're working on it. But I went down there and kind of timed it up. The wife let me do it as we ran down to the Tri-5 reunion. So I have some videos and some pictures of that I'm going to put in at the end of this. This won't be a very long video because, like I said, just with the other things, trying to get a boat ready to sell and so on and so forth, I haven't done a lot to the car. But I have been, lately, a bunch of parts came in. So things that I had been waiting on are here now. So there's no excuses without, trying to get some stuff done. So I'll turn you around here and I'll go over some things that I picked up at the Tri-5 reunion, and then some parts that came in that will help me get started. And there's, like I said, I got all the bushing sets and I finally got my bolts and all that. Now I've been looking and I think I have it figured out maybe on where they go. So if anybody has a good solid link or information they could tell me on these bolts, that'd help out tremendously. So let me turn you around here. So we got Rocky still. Rocky's still doing good. He's just hanging out in the garage. He likes the cold floor in the summer. So I guess I'll start with, when we went to a Tri-5 reunion, I was able to pick up a couple parts that I needed for the 56 Nomad. So I know I've been working on this 55 two-door, but that's, long story short, you can watch some of the other videos, but the Nomad's actually what started my channel. Was I was on a forum with BW's Garage, which I highly encourage everybody go and do the Friday night chats, but they kind of, encouraged me to start the channel and to take some videos of that 56 Nomad getting it out of the garage. So in the meantime, between working on this, I've been starting to collect up some parts. So I found this grill. BW was kind of helped me out locating one, and before, something transpired there, I found this grill at the reunion, Tri-5 reunion in Pigeon Forge, and I paid $100 for it, and honestly, it's pretty nice. I mean, I picked up some of the steel wool, and then there was a spot on here I cleaned up, but I don't really see it off the top of my head. But I got some, the 000 steel wool, hit a couple spots. What I really want to do is get some good pictures before and after. So, but it is cleaning up. It's pretty straight. Has just a couple little dings in it. But, I don't know if I'll see where, but you can see, I mean, it's just very lightly, light rust. So for what I'm doing, at least to start with that Nomad, it'll be, a little bit of patina. And then when I was down that way, actually, I'm always looking on Facebook, and somebody was selling these types of signs for $6 a piece. So found something else to hang in the garage. And then I also picked up this adapter plate. So I'm sure most of you know what it's for. I wasn't really as familiar, but that 265 that I have for the Nomad, I want to put a $700R4 behind it. So with that being said, this is an adapter plate that goes on the back of the block, so that I'm just learning a lot of this, but that 265, the way the starter mounts is to the transmission housing. It's not to the actual block. So you need this plate so that you can mount the starter on it. So the other thing that the guy told me when he sold it, so I only paid $40 for that, which, I was looking online, they wanted a couple $100, but I guess you need to make sure you also have the thickness of this to make sure you put the shims between the torque converter and the ring gear on the back of the motor. So if anybody knows more about that or has done that, I'd really appreciate, leave something in the comments. And then, like I say, another update is BW talked about, I'm going to do the mini tub to this myself because I'm going to do it a little bit, not a lot different, but I am going to just take the original tubs and scoot them in. And then what I'm missing from there to the inner fender well, I'm going to run all the way through and make an entire tub for the back. So BW was telling me that he had these templates that he got with his mini tub kit. So he was nice enough to mail these to me, and I've been laying them out on here. And honestly, what I was trying to do is almost a perfect match to what he has here. So that is about 2 3/4 width, or to shove it in that far. So what I was going to do is just try to save this radius edge in this bend, and I'm probably going to cut out the 2 3/4 and then slide it over and weld it. So I appreciate him doing that for me. I'm just about ready to make those cuts. And then lastly, like I said, I ordered this body mount kit and I started laying it out, and I've been online looking for PDFs as far as which bolts go where, and whether they come in from the top down. And like I said, these are actually double stacked, but where that goes in relationship to the bushing. So there's the hardware kit for that, and then I have the bushings all laid out over here. So I'm pretty sure the square ones, right, they go up on the very first mount that is still on the car. That would cover this first mount up here in the very front. So I believe the square one goes up front, and then that's what I'm looking like, if the bolt goes down or goes up and all that. And then all but these middle mounts, because the transmission mounts were already missing. So, which I would have been taking them off anyways. So all I'm getting ready to do next is I'm going to do the final bolt down, because I did measurements on the frame and it's as square as it's probably ever going to be. And then once I get that all bolted down, I'm going to go ahead and lay out my exact lines where I want these cuts. And then I'm going to put the mini tub, or go ahead and re-weld them and put them in. And then I think I'm still going to go with the idea of, I really don't have my light with me, but inside the car, I still have, this section's still in the car, right? So I wanted it because of the strength. I think I'm going to cut and modify this, and then I'll put this in probably without the trunk pan. And then once I get it in and have this height correct and weld across there, or don't weld across there, but get it up to where it's underneath the flange. And I know that's good and everything's bolted in, and I have it from, basically, the whole rocker area forward, around here, and down the other side. And then when I have that and I know it's holding the body, I'll cut out the rear section and put this pan in. So I got a plan. Like I said, it's just a matter of time now. I'm not trying to make excuses, but I have a wedding coming up. My son's getting married in Louisville at the end of June, and my mom's birthday's in June, and just a lot of things going on. But I just feel like once I get that body back on this floor, then everybody says it's just like a big sigh of relief, because right after that, I really want to get the drivetrain in so I can be doing body work. And then, like I said, I have this LS 5.3. It's like out of a 2004 Chevy truck. So parts are starting to come in for that. The 4L80E, which was a fine drivetrain before. So like I said, it's not going to be super hot rod, but I would like to do that BTR Truck Norris cam and rockers and springs and stuff. You know, it'll be a little over 400 horse, I'm assuming, when it's done. And then the one last thing, which is ironic, in the last video I talked about how I didn't get the parts in for my 265, which is pretty much ready to go back together. I don't know how your phone knows. These are spark plugs I'm getting rid of from a boat. But anyways, my rebuild kit came in, or my gaskets and seals and stuff. So I got one more, I got rings coming. So once those rings get here, then I can start to reassemble this. It's just been pretty much sitting out here sprayed down with WD-40. So hopefully real soon, a lot of this stuff's going to start coming together. And, you know, hopefully just the same way as everything goes on hold, you know, as, you know, like I said, as things go on hold, that everything starts flowing back together and we start getting some work done. So that's what I can hope for. And again, I always know, you know, things will pop up and we do what we can do to get things done. But anyways, I appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, getting close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you get a chance to smash that subscribe button, I really appreciate it. And just kind of like a milestone. And I wanted another throw, you know, just a Ellis Car Customs. He's been mentioning my channel a lot lately, so I wanted to make sure that if you haven't gone over there and watched, he's been converting a 57 two-door hardtop into a 57 Nomad. So he had the roof, the tailgate, part of the rear quarters and stuff like that. So very interesting, very nice guy, super nice guy. He does a lot of, you know, shorter videos and, you know, puts a lot of information into them. Great guy. Plays great music. So if you get a chance, check him out. So thanks for coming along. After this, I'll have the you know, some of what I'd call the highlights from what I liked about the Tri-5 reunion. So enjoy the few video clips and pictures that are at the end of this. Have a great day. Bye. Wow, look at that beauty.